Today is going to be an exciting day at the Hargrove office as we bring in a local celebrity. Welcome the kicking phenom, Bert Auburn, conference champion of the Texas Longhorn football team, all-conference kicker. He's going to be our new spokesman. Bert's the best kicker in the conference. He plays for the Texas Longhorns. As you can see, Bert's f***ing awesome. Hey, Stevie.
Dude, you're really replacing me with a kicker?
No, not at all, man. Hey, guys, who wants a picture with Stevie? Anyone? Stevie almost won a Big 12 championship. Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
First got to Texas, me and Coach Mill, we would meet every day in the afternoon to go through the offense, and he would install it for me so I could begin to learn it and begin to understand it, kind of see it how he saw it, and he helped me tremendously, and it was super cool to get to know him and his family, and he was a great dude to play for.
Stevie Lee, I already know what you think. 14 Longhorns, and we'll get into that. We're up in Indy, and it's still there. Quinn and the quarterbacks had an opportunity. I can't tell if the receivers ran the wrong routes or Quinn was off, but it's mixed bag of opinions. What I saw, I thought he had zip. He looked healthy. What did you see?
Probably a little bit of both, man. I saw some bad throws some throws that weren't good for elite quarterback for what he's just done at the University of Texas. So hopefully he can turn it around and some GMs actually see what he can actually do in game situation.
Somebody likes him, and Sark was asked on the NFL Network. He gave a plethora of reasons why NFL GMs should like Quinn.
I think something that gets lost, this guy's had to endure a lot in his time with us at the University of Texas, is his resiliency. This guy always bounced back. He had to fight through a bunch of different injuries along the way, played in a bunch of big-time games. And so some of those things are hard to measure, right, at a combine or at a pro day. But I think the totality of who he is, his resume, of who he is as a quarterback, I think is going to be helpful for him.
So he's not wrong, Stevie. I mean, you and I, at some point, both at the same time early on, we both had criticism of his deep ball. But the guy has been not healthy for the duration of his career at Texas. The oblique, the shoulder, arm, whatnot. But when you hear Sark, is Sark running the political game, or do you kind of see it more now? Hey, this guy did. One of our guests that's a two-time VIP alumni, he even said it before we started this episode. Quinn took Texas to places it has not been yet or before.
Yeah, it is a political aim by Sark, but he's also in college. What Jason said was play to his strengths. So play to Ewers' strengths. I think his scheme, Sark's scheme is accredited to putting us where we were more than the arm and the talent of Quinn Ewers.
His successor, the height machine, Arch Manning, Jahdae Barron, an ATX 512 product, and his head coach is going to join us. A head coach from high school is going to join us, but this is a pretty cool story. I didn't know about this. Jahdae Barron gave some insight on the Arch Manning, who Arch did not want to be handed anything because of the family tree that he's from.
I think second week he was there. He as a freshman, he's like 2 lockers down for me. he asked to take my loop to the laundry thing. I told him, like, Art, you're good. You don't have to do it. But he just wanted to do it. He wanted to show me that that he wasn't better than anybody, that he was still part of his team, and that he was a freshman. And I told him he didn't have to do that, and I told him appreciate that. But sky's the limits for that kid. He listens. He pays attention to Coach Sark and his game plan, and Coach Millie. That's an amazing quarterback coach. And then he was behind a great quarterback, Quinn, just taking encouragement and taking acknowledgement and just understanding the game and understanding Coach Sark's scheme.
Man, that's a pretty cool story. You can tell the guy is he does not want the spotlight on him regardless of what his family last name is.
Yeah, but I'm ready for this spotlight to be on him, man. I'm so excited about the future at the University of Texas right now.
It's going to be fun. And we've got an action-packed. We got a couple of guests lined up for you in the first segment, kind of alluded to the second guest. But we've got a godfather of defensive backs coming back to Texas, and a guy who that was his position coach who knows him very well. And Stevie knows the guy that we're going to have very well. He's been on here before, and his son just won a championship in the Sunshine State. And before we get going, follow us on all of our social media platforms. Hey, and the best thing about it on YouTube, if you subscribe, it's free. And our sponsor, this would not be possible, all this beautiful NASCAR signage that we have on here, if it wasn't for the family from Shreveport, now in Central Texas, Hargrove Roofing. You see the quote, the marketing slogan, but Stevie, you are the face of Hargrove Roofing. So let's hear the pipes and how that slogan is said to perfection.
I don't know if I'm the face of Hargrove Roofing, but the guys are great. If you have any roof issues, call my guys over at Hargrove Roofing. Hargrove Roofing, know who's on your roof.
Man, you just got your grill was all up in the camera. I like that, man. So, hey, let's get it, man. We teased it a little bit with Quinn and saw Arch Manning's story. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby.
.22 on our feet. The DB's trying to knock my ass off, man. See the respect I get over here?
Trying to knock you down.
Golly. Hey, work together. 22 on their feet. Stay away from the quarterback.
Duane Akina, I think he's going to be coaching until he's a century old. He does not age at all. We need to know his secret. He was there while you were there, but was not your position coach. What can you tell us about the Duane Akina?
Well, man, I wish he was my position coach, man. Even though my position coach was great, Mike Tollison was awesome, but it was just something different about Akina and his players, man. Every one of his players loved him, and he loved on them. Had them over at his house, like he loved on him like they were one of his kids, and they could have been one of his kids because he had like 5 or 6 of them when he was here. So Coach Akina, man, I absolutely love him. I remember talking to him about him growing up in Hawaii, and how he barely wore shoes when they were on the island.
Why?
Why
would
culture,
you?
Yeah, it's the culture is that they don't wear shoes out there, man. So that was a wow to me. He's just a good dude. He'll sit down and talk to anybody.
And he has that loud, hearty laugh.
Yeah.
So a guy that he was been on here before. He's a good friend of yours. Came to Texas with you, and he was coached by him when he first arrived at Texas. He coached at Arizona twice. Duane Akina. Now he's back at Texas for a second time. Let's bring in a guy who was coached by the Duane Akina. Phillip Geiggar, man, welcome back. We need to put you on the payroll. Duane Akina, man, you're in Orlando, Florida. Go ahead and tell us why you're there and show the bling that you showed all of us before this episode began.
Yeah, so my son's team entered into the Junior Olympics tournament here in Orlando. There was 68 teams in their age group, and We started out slow, but we ended up in the second bracket, but we won that second bracket and ended up bringing a little bling bling home. I mean, so it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Lots of great talent out here, boys. It's some players y'all gonna hear about here in the near future. It's some great athletes out here.
Man, that's awesome.
Fun. That's fun. Tell Kai Uncle Stevie said congratulations, man.
I will. I'll send you his Venmo.
Hey, you
I
and
said
Stevie
congratulations. I didn't say I was gonna pay him for it.
Hey, you and Stevie were at Texas early in Coach Mack Brown's when he started to get it going early on, and then Duane Akina was, I think he arrived at Texas in what, 01?
Yep.
And
my sophomore year.
What was it about him that transformed you, and why are you so excited about the return of Duane Akina? What do you think Sark saw in him to say, man, we need to bring this Godfather of DBU back to Austin?
So when I first met Akina, of course, there was a lot of, lots of talk about him coming in. And when I first saw him, completely honest, I was like, this guy is like the legendary coach, tall, skinny. And then I found out he played quarterback. I was kind of 50-50 on that. I was like, he played quarterback, but well, he could give us some insight on what quarterbacks look for, in reading defenses and stuff. And so, but after that first practice, though, I mean, man, the energy he brought, I was like, I like this dude. I like his energy. He challenges you. He challenges you to bring out the best in yourself. And that's what I needed as a player. That's what I wanted as a player. I wanted somebody to challenge me, yell at me, piss me off, tell me what I need to correct. And so after that first practice, I mean, he was a superstar in the locker room. Stevie was coming to ask, like, man, he had some energy. Like, why was he rolling on the ground? Diving on the ground, rolling on the ground. And I was like, man, that's my coach right there. Like, I'd go to war with him any day. And ever since then, I've just been the biggest fan. And from that point on, I did not want to disappoint Coach Akina.
Go ahead, Stevie.
Oh, yeah, man. So, yeah, I remember him rolling on the ground, Phillip. I remember if you're walking next to Coach Akina on the football field and a ball drops on the ground, he's like, fumble and go get it himself. Like, we're in the coach, not in the game. We're not in the game. That's the energy that he had on the field, man. No, he's a good person that I think that he really, really cares about his players. He cares how he coaches them. He coaches them hard, but not hard to where you shutting them down either, and not
right.
And tearing them down. What I think that Sark saw in Coach is basically a UT alumni coming back on staff. You know what I mean? He didn't go to school at Texas, but he was back here under Mack Brown and the glory days of Mack Brown. And, we lost Blake Gideon, who actually played here. And so I think that they wanted somebody on staff. He wanted someone on staff that had ties to the old UT. So I think and knows how to recruit Texas as well. So I think that that was strategic for Coach Sark to go out there and get Akina. And I hope Akina asked for whatever he wanted, and I hope they gave it to him,
Whatever they gave him, he's worth more.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Phillip, we know you're excited, and I know you're excited to have him back, and I know you kept in touch with him. All his stops you saw on that graphic. Did a great job at Stanford, Arizona twice. What is there one story about Coach Akina that sticks in your head that you love telling?
Probably the best one personally for me was I went to his office one time. I was a little frustrated, and I just asked him what I needed to do to get better, to see the field more, what I need to work on. And he told me, this is what you need to work on. This is what you got to get better at. This is what you're not so good at. And he was just real honest with me. And that's what I liked. You know, I didn't want him to blow smoke up my butt and tell me that I'm doing fine. You just keep working. Like, he gave me specifics on what to work on, what I need to get better at. And I went out and I did it, and I got better, and I got to see the field more. That's something that really stuck out to me. And there was another time too, after my junior year, he was getting offered from UCLA. And of course, everybody knows he's from Hawaii, and he missed home and wanted to be closer to home. And I'll tell you what, man, I was so nervous that he was leaving. I would have hated it if he left. And after it came out that he was staying, man, I went to him. I said, thank you for staying here. You know, and so those two stories stand out to me. But yeah, and of course, just the intensity and, you know, some stuff I probably can't say on the podcast. And so he's just an awesome coach, and even a better guy.
No, Phillip. So I remember Coach Akina not only just being on a good guy on the field, just coaching you guys up, but I remember just about every week or every other week, y'all would go to his house, right, and hang out, and he would cook for you guys. And his wife apparently is a phenomenal cook in cooking Hawaiian cuisine or Pacific Island cuisine.
Wow.
Yeah. So we went to his house, and the first time we went, he told every DB to bring their high school highlight film. And we sat through and we watched everybody's high school highlight film. And it was funny because, you know, I went to a Christian school, and our coaches did not allow celebrations.
Wow.
And yeah, they didn't like it at all. And so there was one play I did, and I did like a little high step into the end zone. And Coach Akina looked at me. He was like, "That's all they allowed y'all to do over there?" But yeah, went to his house. He is family, and yes, his wife is a great cook. It's probably why I ended up marrying an Islander who can cook. And so, but yeah, he would have us over to his house, and, you know, we would just all enjoy each other's time. It was definitely more than just football with Coach Akina. It was relationships.
Yep.
Well, Phillip, man, we appreciate it, man, and give your son a big high five, bro, hug for us. And man,
I will.
I think everyone who has any vested interest in Texas football, former players, fans, are really excited for your former coach that he's back. I mean, I guess if you find a way to get us an invite over there to experience his wife's island Hawaiian cooking, let's do it. I'll buy the ingredients, and we'll all go over there.
All right, that's a deal.
Yeah.
Hey, man, safe travels, man. When we got to do lunch, and we got to do this again. We got to get you on the Man Cave payroll, apparently.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right, man. Get back to your family, man. Y'all get back safely. All right.
All right, thanks, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
We'll see you, PG. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Man, he's got all those great stories. All you guys from Shreveport, man. It's I didn't know you couldn't celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't celebrate. I still did it, man. I remember one time I got in trouble. We were in the Superdome, and we were playing, I think, West Monroe.
Right.
And it was the championship game my senior year. No, it was the game to kick off the season. They had a kickoff classic in the Superdome in Louisiana, and we were playing John Curtis, actually. And I had a tackle for a loss, and I get up and I look at our bench, and I do that right there.
Oh,
I just do
the jugular.
I do that right there, and I didn't know I did it until we watched film the next day. When I was in a zone, I didn't know what I was doing on the field, you know. And we've watched film the next day, and I got in trouble then. But I didn't really care. All Coach said was, "Hey, we don't do that, Stevie," and moved on. Well, the next game I did it again, so I guess we did do that. So it was my senior year, man. I was leaving to go to college in the next couple of months, so I was like, I'm doing whatever I want to do. If they don't flag me, they didn't see it, So,
Stevie being Stevie.
Yeah, man.
So encapsulate, I know you and I didn't see every piece of video, but 14 Longhorns in the NFL Combine in Indy, that is a significant number for any program. It's a record for Texas, I think. But, one of them, one of your fellow defensive linemen, counterparts, one guy who I've always thought is severely underrated, he was there. Did you see Barron Sorrell's 40?
I did not.
Oh, my God. Check him out.
Isn't that sweet? He's going to have this for the conversation piece.
4.72 for a hybrid linebacker, defensive. Oh, he's not a linebacker, but a DN.
DN. He can play the three technique too, though.
Yeah, that's right. What's your take on him? Because
upside, a bunch of upside, man. In the NFL, right now in the NFL, like they draft a lot of potential, and he has a lot of potential on him. So I think he helped his draft stock. Now, I will say this, man. The dumbest drill at the combine is the 40, especially for a big man. Yeah. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But they put these GMs put so much weight into this 40 time, especially when we have technology now that can clock top speed in the actual game situations on the field. No one's out there with cleats and tights on running in a straight line. It's just the dumbest drill to do as a NFL combine. That's my opinion.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Jahdae Barron, you couldn't ask for a better guy. That he's intelligent, bright, and he's been one of those guys that has developed. And we've got a guest who, can take credit for all that. He was his high school football coach. Let's bring him in. Look at this, Jason Cecil.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, my man? Hey, he was a head coach at McCallum High School here in Austin, AISD, did great things there. Pflugerville Connally, where he identified this great talent named Jahdae Barron. But before we get to that, hey, shout out to Jason Cecil, named the head football coach at Austin High, the Maroons, recently this past week. Loyal forever. It was the first high school. That used to be your campus above House Park Stadium.
Right.
Hey, Congrats, brother.
I appreciate it. I'm fired up. Couldn't be, any more blessed to be in this position. I want to thank everybody that gave me the opportunity, all our players and everybody that's reached out to help me get to this point. Excited to get on the job and get this thing going.
We are too. And Stevie, you're going to have to come out to House Park. It's still their home field, but a little bit farther away this time. But we were just talking about Barron Sorrell. The 40's it's kind of funny when you see a lineman. They're not ever going to chase anyone down the sideline. But when you see your guy move like this, I just want to – we're going to talk about Jahdae, but pretty good outing in Indianapolis.
Texas. Off he goes. Barron's first 40. It's a 4.4 flat.
That's a fantastic time. For example,
Stevie, first thing I got to ask Coach Cecil, did you see this ability, this potential when he was young at Connally High School in Pflugerville?
Yeah, he was. He stood out like no other kid I've ever coached. Honestly, that's the first 40 I've ever seen the kid run. Yeah, he was we time them all. We go through all that business after the season, but he was a basketball kid for us as well. And I always let those guys hit it and get the basketball as soon as we were done with football. So I never once got a 40 time on him. He ran track his senior year. I was like, all right. You knew he was fast.
Yeah.
He ran track. I think he was like a 10.700 guy. That kind of proved to me he's fast. But I spoke to somebody from the Rams last week, and they're like, well, what's his, what might be a weakness? And maybe his 40 time. I don't know. I've never seen one, but, I was fired up to see what he did that day.
Wow, Coach. So I just caught what you just said. So these GMs are calling high school coaches?
Yeah, it was somebody from player personnel, but I've got a few calls. Some I think were legit. Some that I think were people reaching and trying to do some dirty business. It's been really interesting.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool, man. That's good. I think the other thing about Jahdae, and we probably will talk about it here, is I think he's a good kid, right? Yeah. And I think that he could he will be able to handle the success of being a NFL player, because just being good on the field is much more than that in the NFL. I mean, these kids are what? He's 20, maybe 23, and about to go and pull down a couple $1 million a year, a few $1 million a year. And that takes maturity just to handle all of that, man. So, hats off to you for coaching him in high school, his parents for pouring into him. But I can just tell he's just a good kid.
Yeah, he's a great kid. I tell you, he's got, from a personality standpoint, one of the best personalities I've ever coached. Like, you could get mad at him, but you weren't going to stay mad at him very long. He put a smile on your face real quick. Mom did a great job with him. Easily coached. He was better than everybody, and he knew it. And the thing I always tried to get from him, like, I got to have your best every single day, because he could get by with less than that. And very rarely did he do it, but he was easy to correct. And I'm telling you, just a great kid. And I've seen him grow too. From the time he left us, he'd come by all the time still, and you could just see he's getting to be a better man. Sark, those guys have done a good job with him. Coach Joseph, Coach Gideon, like everybody that's touched that kid has helped build him up, and just him being who he is made that easy, I'm sure.
So Todd McShay, who I really enjoy listening to. I think he's one of the best, if not the best, at evaluating talents and doing the background. Like you mentioned, these scouts are going as far back as their high school coach to learn more. But Todd McShay talked about something. You could tell he did his homework about Jahdae. And this is what he had to say about your former DB.
He's one of the best I've ever seen, Jahdae Barron is, at detaching the ball from a receiver. And so if he gets in there a quarter count late, or if he gets there on time but he has the body control to reach around, it's almost like watching a snake when he goes to attack.
Was he like that? Because I know I saw a few of your Connally games when he was there, but I didn't get the chance to see him in depth. Was he like that, or was that something that he learned to manipulate, use as in his development in college?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. I don't want to take too much credit. The kid's a great player and has great skills and great timing. And I think that's a big part of it, is he has to have great timing. We played a ton of off man with him. We'd mix in some press, but a lot of off man. And he just had a natural knack. And I think probably the thing that makes him so good at that is his physicality. You don't see a ton of super physical DBs these days, and he is that. And I know a lot of his teammates are the same there, but they're doing something right to get those kids to play as physical as they do. And that, when you are that way, you're going to detach the ball, and that's a big piece of who he is.
Stevie, did you have anything else for Coach?
No, I think we really said it all. He's really a good kid. Did you get a picture with him after he won the Thorpe?
No, I didn't. Not yet. I can't wait to get one. In fact, my in-laws live up in Oklahoma, and I hadn't been up there in a while, so now I got a reason to go up there and see the display that they got up there on him. You have to, man, and display it in your office, and and that's good for your future kids to walk in your office and like, this guy coached a Thorpe Award winner. Let me shut up and listen to him and see what he has to say.
I will say, because Stevie, Coach Cecil played college football up in Oklahoma, Division II. Which it was Southwestern?
Northwestern.
Northwest.
Yeah.
Wrong.
One of the many double directionals up in Oklahoma.
You played linebacker, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it too. That we've talked about it before, but that Thorpe Award at the Western Heritage Museum, it's unbelievable what they've done up there for that award. The ceremony, it's first class, top notch. But when Jahdae was playing for you at Connally, there was another guy over at Manor, and I mean, Tahj Brooks, what he's done for himself. It's just like this group of the 512 boys and Andrew Makuba, not only great athletes, but they're just good people. And this is what Tahj did. And listen to the talent at the end, what he said about Tahj.
See how he runs here. 4.53. Peter Schrager.
Ultra productive is right. We know his stats at the college game at Texas Tech. How about this? Captain the last 2 years, first team academic All-American. And I asked the running backs coach, who's the best blocking back in this draft? Said Tahj Brooks, Texas Tech, not even a question.
So, Coach, I'll ask you first. You got a chance to see him. What do you know about the value placed on these NFL scouts on blocking backs nowadays? I mean, to us, there's a few coaches who still like Bob Stoops used to value the fullback so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's all cyclical. It's coming back again. Obviously, in the NFL, it's vastly more important maybe than at any other level to protect that high dollar man with the arm back there. But I think it's crucial, and that kid's good at it. I saw, he was that way in high school, and he's continued to be that way through college, and hopefully it makes him some money.
Yeah, that's good. No, it's more 512 kids out there, man. So I'm really excited about what these kids are doing with Leonard Moore over at Notre Dame, and plenty of other ones. So I think there's something in the water right now. It's just kind of blew up right now with all these great college football guys coming out, and they're all going to be good in the NFL. They're all got good numbers. I think there's maybe not something in the water. I think what I'm seeing right now, because my kids are in sports, there are a lot of trainers that they get training outside of just football around town. I go to Diamond Cut up in Georgetown, or I'm sorry, in North Austin, and then there's a guy over in Pflugerville, and he has all these high school players. All these guys have all these high school players, and these players are wanting to get extra work, and the parents are paying for it, but they want to get extra work. But you can see it starting to pay off right now, So as much as work that you can put in this area, there's plenty of people around here that want to train you, and you can see it kind of paying off on the field right now with all these 512 boys.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, we can't let you go and go to break without you partaking in a Stories Inside the Man Cave tradition. Man Cave stories. There's been some that are legendary, and there's been some I had to edit for obvious reasons, but they're absolutely hilarious. Sometimes I got to realize that not everyone they're like us. Some people are very sensitive. But is there a story in your career, a playing career, or coaching career that's just as funny today as it was when it happened?
Yeah, I'm not real sensitive, and I probably should be edited a lot more than I am.
You and I both.
So I got a lot of those editable stories. I'm gonna try to leave those out. We'll save those for a day after I retire, maybe. But I tell you, the value of communication, right? In a platform like this, right? We're all on here. You got long form communication. We're getting to talk it out. I think communication is the key to everything you can do in life, right? And so I learned as a young coach back in Dumas High School. I played at Northwestern, and then I took my first high school job back at my hometown in Dumas, and had been coaching these studs in college, and now I'm dealing with these good kids, but not ballers by any means. And so when you look at the value and the importance of clear and concise and just clear communication to your players, I had a kid JV football player, great kid, not a great player by any means. His name was Albert. And we're at a JV game, and we're getting our teeth kicked in. And part of the reason because he's lined up about 2 yards from the line of scrimmage, and he never sees his keys at all. And so I'm over on the sideline yelling at him, Albert, you got to loosen up. What? You got to loosen up, Albert. And he reaches down, and he starts touching his toes and stretching them hamstrings, grabs his foot, pulls it back to his butt, stretches that quad out, does some arm circles, and he's ready to go. And we give up another first down on that next play. Couldn't get a timeout called soon enough. So yeah, you gotta know what you're saying and make sure they understand your language too.
Communication is key, man. I get it. I got it. Yep.
Communication is everything. And I'm guilty of it. And I was in the damn business for 20-something years, and I still couldn't. Some of the worst communicators are in that industry we're talking about. That's funny because, we assume people know what we mean.
Yeah.
When there's a good portion of people who you just got to go in detail sometimes. He mentioned Dumas, Texas, home of the Demons. For those who aren't sure where that is, that's a lot of people that go skiing in Colorado go through Dumas, correct?
Yeah, that's anybody that asks where I'm from, tell them Dumas. Like, oh yeah, I stop there when I go skiing. And other than that, you're not going to know where it is. Home to a bunch of great people. Hard-working folks, but there ain't much there other than sports and hard work.
And a few other things we won't mention. Edit. Oh yeah, that's where Ed Cunningham, Blake Brown at Cedar Park, the basketball coach.
Yeah,
I think. He's from Dumas. I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of Panhandle folks down here. We all figured out there was a lot better weather and athletes somewhere else. So we made a great migration to come down to some fine Central Texas weather and some good kids.
And we're glad you've been here this long. Hey, good girls basketball up in the Panhandle.
For sure.
Absolutely. Coach, man, this is long overdue. We got to all meet. And, hey, Stevie, I mentioned this to him. He's at Austin High School. Arguably the best burger in Austin is literally right around the corner off of Lake Austin Boulevard, Pool Burger. It's attached to Deep Eddy Cabaret.
Yep.
It's
Deep Eddy Pools, isn't it?
Well, there's Deep Eddy Pool, but there's Deep Eddy Pool, up the hill, Pool Burger, and then Deep Eddy Cabaret.
Gotcha. No, I would love to, man.
Let's do
it.
This is
all three of them.
What's that?
We can hit all three of them.
All three of them one day.
Absolutely. This is fun, man. I love talking to high school ball coaches, man, because this is where it starts for a lot of kids. Thank you for coming on, and I got a degree in education because my fallback plan was coaching, and but I said, you know what, I got to get in real estate because I love the real estate, and I couldn't teach any kids, man, because my mouth was too bad. I would curse somebody out so hard they'd go tell their mom, and then I get fired anyway. So hats off to you for molding the kids of this area, man. Hats off.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
hey, Coach, we'll be in touch. We'll hit up Pool Burger, and hey, man, congrats, and follow Coach Cecil, the Austin High Maroons on all the social media platforms. They've got some good things going on over there. You know, they play big time football. I can't remember. Are you guys still? Did y'all move down to 5A?
We did not. We were about less than 25 kids from that mark. So
let me do the snapshot next time of enrollment. Coach Cecil, congrats to you and your family, man. We'll be in touch, brother.
All right, sounds good. Thank y'all.
Hey, thank you. Stevie, we're going to take a quick break, but on the other side, we're going to talk a little bit about March Madness, get your take on a few basketball-related items, and you've got a pro tip, and we've got a new dry erase board for it. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break.
Here at Hargrove Roofing, we try to think outside the box to kind of get the creative juices flowing. So I brought in my friend Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the Texas Longhorns. He's going to help the team strategize, really motivate them, light a fire.
This guy's going to block down. This guy's going to block down. You put your butt into the guard. and that way my Mike linebacker gets free to do what?
Not only are they going to learn a thing or two, but they're going to also leave with a great attitude and a bunch of smiles on their faces.
I'm sorry, what does this have to do with roofing exactly?
Get out.
Right now.
I said get out.
For me, that's what it's all about. It's just having fun, making our employees have a great time. Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
All right, Stevie, it is March. Happy Texas Independence Day today, when Texas became its own country.
Happy
1836, before statehood.
Yeah, happy Texas Independence Day. You know, I had to learn all that stuff when I got here to Texas, man. So,
That's right.
You know, shout out to Texas for being its own. Texas has its own style, man. So
100%.
Yeah, and I am grateful that I'm here. I have been a Texan longer than I have been a Louisiana. So I'm here now, man. I'm a Texan.
Shout out to all the Tejanos and Tejanas. We're all one. We're Texas.
All one. Absolutely.
Texas. Through and through. All you Lone Star state-loving people, we love you.
Yeah.
Hey, you saw the bumper, the little transition. It's March Madness. There's the lower mid-majors, low major schools. Their conference tournaments are starting, meaning they got to win those tournaments to get into the field of 68. And we're going to do the bracket challenge again. We had over 52 entries last year.
Let's do it.
We had great prizes from Round Rock Express seats, Dirty Martins. We had other prizes, but the winner could not get a hold of you. The second place guy could not get a hold of you. You got to pay attention to our socials, sign up, but message me your contact info, your phone number, and your email address. And one stipulation. I couldn't give the third place person because you lived in Minnesota. You've got to live in the central Texas within 100 miles of Austin. You think that's a good rule?
That's a good rule. Great rule.
That's a great rule. Bracket challenge coming up. Let's see if we can break the 52. We'll have 3 different types of prizes. That's what we're aiming for. Round Rock Express, got to get back with them, see if they're on board. And while we're talking about basketball, how about the Vic Schaefer's Texas women's basketball first year in the SEC? They clinched a share of the SEC regular season championship. Your thoughts on that basketball team?
I just left the game right now, man. The girls started out a little bit slower than usual against Florida, but they turned it on in the second half. I think the last final score like 72-46. I am really looking forward to March Madness, but I'm really looking forward to the girls' games, man.
Yeah.
The girls' game has really, really grown.
Yeah.
With Caitlin Clark last year and Angel Reese and Floje over at LSU, and then our whole staff and not staff, but our whole team. We play as a whole, you know, and so it's been fun to watch. It was fun to see them play today. The Moody Center is beautiful. It was beautiful weather outside. It was just nice to be out there.
They will host, unlike the men's NCAA tournament, Texas will host first and second round games that first weekend. Go online now. I've already got my tickets. You buy the all session 3 games, and it's less than $100 for 2 seats.
Oh, wow.
If they're still available. Texas men, they're on the outside looking in, getting the tournament. I believe they now have 14 losses. What's your thought on Rodney Terry? His buyout would be $7.2 million. Is a change needed?
Man, I don't really know. I like Terry. It seems like the players like Terry. But we do have to be better. We have to do better, man. But also in the same breath, the SEC is just loaded with teams. You know, they're looking at how many 12 teams going into the tournament from the SEC?
Essentially, the Texas is 16-13 right now.
Yeah.
All right. And they've lost 3 straight. They earlier this week took Arkansas to overtime in Fayetteville. They got Trey Johnson, who's perhaps the best player in the country, maybe, if one of the top 5.
Yeah.
They're not going to make it, man. They're 5-11. They've got 2 regular season games left. So, in my opinion, the only way they're going to get in is if they win these last 2 and win 2 at the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
That would
I
put them
don't know, man. It is going to be tough, but it's the SEC, like I said, is loaded. But we do have to be better. I don't know who's out there that we get.
I want to welcome in our new addition, our new dry erase board. Every pro tip, if it is a business, somewhere to dine, whatnot, we're going to promote it. And we even have pictures. Stevie, you live in a Round Rock, Georgetown area.
Yep.
And Saturday morning, you absolutely abused me with this. I was salivating. But as you can read, El Grandpa's Mexican Barbecue in G-Town.
Yep.
At first, I thought that was you. The guy has the same build. Is it just a food truck?
It's a food truck like that. That is where they prep the food. Off to the other side is the pit, I guess you can call it, because they actually it's all lamb products, right? And so they actually smoke the lamb in this. They built this this pit on the floor of the trailer, and they put like the banana leaves on top of it and like smoke it in that. So it comes out with great flavor. They put it on a homemade tortilla for you.
Oh, you rolled your R, tortilla.
Yeah, and so and they're very, very nice out there. As my wife and I were cleaning up our table and about to leave, El Grandpa came over and said, "Hi, thank you for coming out. How'd you like it? Please come back." And like he came out and shook your hand and everything, man. So he's a real nice older guy, and I felt like it was real. He probably grew up cooking like that, you know, and you can taste the love in the food, man. It was really good.
We're very spoiled, and in Spanish, Grandpa, I'm shocked it doesn't say El Abuelo.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, I thought the same thing, but he called it El Grandpa. So when he walked up, I said, "Are you El Grandpa?" He said, "Yes, I am El Grandpa." So
El Grandpa.
Yeah, so that's my pro tip, guys, man. Get up.
Yeah.
There it is.
Follow El Grandpa.
Yeah.
And visit. Bring them business.
Yeah, absolutely. Just type it in your GPS, get out there. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere in Georgetown, man, but it was a beautiful day. My wife and I just got up in the morning and said, "Let's go get a taco." And we drove over there, and you get out and you're outside eating, and it's just very nice. It was really cool.
I like it a lot. I think what we ought to do is, if we connect with them, you and I go find out, and we'll do a video story on how they make their tacos. TikToking the man cave. There's a lot of trends that our couples are doing and partaking. And I find this rather amusing. The "what are you doing" trend.
I'm peeking through the blinds. What are you doing?
I'm opening up your butt cheeks. What are you doing?
Why are you opening my butt cheeks?
Oh no. I'm mashing potatoes. What are you doing?
I'm milking a cow. What are you doing?
I'm jerking off. What are you doing?
I'm disinfecting the table. What are you doing?
I'm calling a cat over. What are you doing?
I'm pulling the trigger. What are you doing?
Andrea! I didn't know you were like that.
I'm hula hooping. What are you doing?
I'm practicing for later. What are you doing? I'm skiing. What are you doing?
I'm dancing. What are you doing?
Andrea, that's not how you dance.
I'm doing a Romanian deadlift. What are you doing?
I'm putting my pants on. What are you doing?
That's a good one.
You and Summer need to partake and post it ASAP.
Yeah, we probably should, but somebody need to help that guy out. You knew what was on his mind.
100%. I'd be doing the same thing. I would have zero filters.
Exactly.
Good looking couple, though.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
Stevie Lee, for those watching for the first time, this is what we enjoy. We love dry erase boards, and we also love positivity.
Yeah.
Tell me something good, my brother.
Tell me something good, man. I'm just going to be positive. It's spring is coming up. You know, we're in March. March Madness is coming up, man. Something good is just, man, keep a smile on your face, y'all. Don't take life too serious. We're all in this world together, and we're going to bump into each other. But you know what? Let's bump into each other with a smile and being gracious. Thankful that we are alive, because a lot of people hadn't made it this far, guys. So that's something good, man. I just feel real positive right now, man. 2024 wasn't a great year for a lot of people, but 2025 is looking up really good for me personally, for my family. It's going to be tough because my daughter's going to go off to college, but I'm looking forward to that next chapter in her life. So that's something good, y'all. Just stay positive. Keep me in your prayers, because, man, my baby leaving, that's gonna be different for me, man. So, but keep your head up, guys, and just know, if nobody else told you, I'm telling you right now, I love you.
I love you, brother. Hey, you know, one thing that I'm not everyone's a big time communicator, and you got to respect people's boundaries, whatnot. But man, if someone is special to you, or you have respect for them and they mean something to you, you know what? Find a way to have that conversation have a conversation with that person and tell them how you feel, because maybe it's because I'm getting older or whatnot, or maybe I'm just noticing it, or maybe it's because of what I've experienced the last few years. Man, people have regrets. Let's let bygones be bygones with people who really mean something to you. Mm-hmm. and think about, you know, how when you're playing football or you're in business, you got to think 2 steps ahead, 2 plays ahead. Think about several months ahead, and what that may look like if you hold a grudge or you keep putting off a conversation, what you want to say to somebody, because if they mean something to you, you may never get that chance.
Yeah.
There's an expiration date. Let's avoid that expiration date. And it's a beautiful time of year in Austin, Texas. Perhaps the best time to be dining out on a porch.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say. Stevie Lee, it's been fun. And a big shout out to Phillip Geiggar and Coach Jason Cecil, both of you guys coming onto the show. Phillip, 2-time returning alumni. He and Stevie played together at Shreveport Evangel and at Texas. They grew up together. They're best of friends. You guys are like brothers. Appreciate Phillip and Coach Cecil. We've been friends since 2014. And he got to coach Jahdae Barron in high school, and he jokingly, he takes credit for it all. Stevie, appreciate you. Much love, my brother. And to your beautiful family, and to your lovely hometown, Shreveport, Louisiana, and to the Hargrove family and Hargrove Roofing family as well, and to my college alma mater town, that being Nacogdoches, Texas, not far from Shreveport, in my beautiful hometown, Austin, Texas, and to everyone who's ever been on Stories Inside the Man Cave, and to you, we love you. Keep sharing and watching and listening, and give us ideas for guests or topics, and we'll listen. And to the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Harge, Big Mike, and the Coach Mo. What do we tell them, Stevie Lee?
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.
I said, get out.